bridge your knowledge to success.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Aditya Talks. And today we have Mr. Sanjeev with us. He is a recurring guest on our show, and he's a very interesting person. Last time we discussed a lot on his physical life and how he ran a lot and he motivated a lot of our viewers about it. So it's a pleasure to have you back. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you so much, Aditya. It's always been a pleasure talking to you. And last time when I came on your show, I really appreciate that you are very consistent with your talk shows and you are doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Great, keep it up.
It's an honor to have you back, and let's begin. So you mentioned your fitness journey. It started with mental wellness. Can you tell us about how it all began? What was the beginning of your journey?
Okay. Yeah. So Aditya, as like in my last interview, we basically spoke about the running part and fitness part, but how it all started. So let me take you back to those days. So I was in I was probably 37, 38 years of age at that point of time, and till then I had never participated in any sports activities in my school days or in college. And later on, I started working. I worked for a call center, and then I started to work for a bank. So physical activity has always been missing in my life. I don't remember doing any kind of physical, sport. But by when I was 38, 37, I had a major watershed moment in my life. I lost my father. I lost my father at that time, and he suffered a very fatal stroke, and he couldn't come back. So I was, and my whole family was pretty shocked. We were totally shocked, and it was a fatal blow to our, the whole family. And for some time, I was in total shock, and I did not know exactly what happened, how it happened. It took me some time to absorb what's going on in my life. So I started contemplating on the deeper questions started in my mind, like why it happened, how it happened, and further about life. Some spiritual aspects of life. So the very first thing which I could gather from what happened to my dad was that he could not keep himself fit. He had some issues, but he probably never thought them to be serious enough to be taking care of them.
Yes.
And yeah, that's what I think triggered my journey towards fitness. And so when I could find clarity. It took me something like uh, 2 years of complete contemplation to figure it out that the thing which I need to start doing is to start taking care of myself, because if I can't take care of myself, I wouldn't be able to take care of my family. So that's what got me started, and from there on, I started doing these small acts of physical activities, like simple things like walking, simple exercises, moving your body parts, and trying to take a common sense approach, like whatever I had so far heard about, about how to keep yourself fit. So like eat healthy, sleep, exercise. So just from those simple things I started, and then it started getting bigger and bigger with time. And now I have been in this journey for the last 7 years. 2018 I started, and 2015 I had lost my dad. So it took me like 2 years to figure it out, and from there on, it took me 1 year to really get serious about my fitness. Where I started running like 1 year after that. So, and since then it has been going on. It has been very consistent. In the last 7 years, I have run close to 10,000 kilometers so far, and that's there documented on Strava. And this journey has been very interesting because through this journey, I have learned a lot about my life. I have learned a lot about myself. I have been able to dive deeper into my own behavior and how and what really makes us happy and joyful. So that has been really, very something very, very rewarding for me. So yeah, this is how I got started, and I started doing it, and so far it has been going very nice, very nicely.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, your father's death assured your interest in running and health, and overall, it has evolved from something that was just to remove risks of death to becoming something that is very crucial to your life right now, which makes you who you are. So, running, I think this is really interesting. So, getting into it must have been a challenge, of course, since breaking the mold is one of the initial biggest challenges. How did you do it? And what changed first when you began to run?
Great question, Aditya. So breaking the mold. You see, breaking the mold for me was more about uh, transitioning from one mindset to another mindset, and this is what was happening inside me mentally in those 2 years. In those 2 years, I was absorbing everything which has happened to me. I was absorbing, I was trying to figure out, I was trying to recollect everything that has happened to me since so far in my life, like my school, my college, my how I've been spending my life, what values I had been carrying, what things I had been, ambitious about, and all those questions about total. I mean, it was total about it was about total existence on Earth. Like what exactly I was doing, and was I doing it correctly? Was I living my life correctly? Was it all right? I started to question myself, and so yeah, these 2 years were really very, very quiet for me. And I was just processing all of my life. I was going in the flashback and trying to analyze everything which has happened to me so far. Because after seeing, when you see, when you read in the newspapers or when you hear something from the outside, it doesn't actually strike you. But once you experience something very personal, it has the capacity to completely transform you, completely change you.
Yeah,
It can break you or it can make you. So that what happened to me. I started to look at it in this way that you see, I need to take more responsibility about myself, and I need to be more, more insightful about what I'm doing right now. From there, it started to change. Like I started to question every decision of mine, like why I am eating the way I am eating, why I am thinking the way I am thinking, why I am behaving the way I am behaving. So that is the major challenge I think every one of us is facing because we are not having clarity. Exactly. Clarity is what we are missing in life. So we don't know exactly where we are heading. what we want to do with our life, why do we want to live with our life. So when I had this incident happening to me, I got a lot of clarity, like in which direction I want to head and how I wanted to spend the rest of my life. So that is the major part of our life where we are actually getting stuck and we face a lot of challenges. But
Yes,
once you have been through this, you start to understand exactly what you need to do. So that is the force which you build up. That's your mindset.
agreed. So I think clarity is one of the biggest issues in this times. In these times, like many children, many youth, and people in your in middle ages as well have a lot of issues with this because societal pressure exists and responsibilities are put on them. So they do not get to think about what they want to do with their own lives. And in that case, just picking something like maybe regarding physical activities or some hobbies, trying something and just going after it gives you a lot of time to introspect, and which is it is very important for you to succeed in life and especially be happy. So you often say mental health begins with value education. What values do you think are neglected the most in today's fast paced world?
Uh, if you see the transitioning which I was talking about, transition in the mindset, this is actually was about the transition in my values, like value system. What exactly I was now looking at, what I wanted to value. So if you see why I'm calling this watershed moment for my life when I lost my dad, is since till then I was actually doing things out of my conditioning, like how I was, supposed to behave or supposed to do. Like as like you're in school right now, you're supposed to excel in your studies, right? And then career, and then higher studies, and then job, and then marriage. So these are the expectations which we live. So
Yes.
we try to measure up to those standards. Okay. So I was doing that. But once this hit me very hard, I started to question myself. Was I really finding it very like I have been aspiring to do all those things, and in some measure, I had achieved all those things. I was married, I had kids, I had job, I had finished my studies, and I was pretty comfortable in my life. But then why I was not feeling all right? Why I was feeling so much, pain inside me. So I found that the things that we value these days are more materialistic in nature. You
Yeah.
see, we are we are outward oriented. We are living by our senses. Like something which we look at, it should be very nice. Something we want to have should have a physical manifestation. So you have like physical material assets you want to accumulate. So everybody is like interested in buying a new car, getting another property, okay, and all sorts of things which are materialistic in nature, and they are not bad. But the thing is that we simply restrict ourselves to these things. We think that that's the end of our everything. We have to just keep upgrading them. Like if you have one house, if it is a 2 BHK house, you must have a 4 bedroom house. If you have a 4 bedroom house, you must now move on to the next upgradation. Similarly, if you have a bike, you must have a car. If you have a car, you must have a bigger car. So you're upgrading into all these things. But these are the things which you need. Okay, these are the things which you need basically to live. For example, you need a house, a shelter. But that's it. You don't need to keep upgrading yourself.
Agreed.
The
I
area in which you need to upgrade yourself is your values, like how you think, okay, how you look at your life. You need to dive deeper into your philosophy of living. Why are you living? What is making you feel, happy about when you get up in the morning? Okay,
Yeah.
when you have, when you're doing something, what is the kind of satisfaction level you have? Are you satisfied? Are you happy? Are you content? Or is it leaving you high and dry? So these are the questions which I try to ask myself. If I get more money, will I be more happy? If I have one more house, will I be more happier? I found that this was the chase which was not going to end anywhere. You can go on endlessly and you will never find any end of it. So the material existence is at one level and it has a limited role to play in your happiness.
Yeah.
And my dad's incident actually completely changed my perspective. I started to look at things in a different way. I started to value more of my own happiness, my own priorities, what I really wanted out of my life. Okay. So I started to wonder what exactly I want from my life. What will make me feel better? So that is exactly where I started to look at and I realized that we are actually heading in the wrong direction. We are just mindlessly technology driven. Technology is not bad, but we are mindlessly technology driven and we are not realizing that we are we are human beings, we are people, we are like other organisms on this earth,
Yeah.
like other
Definitely.
animals and other plants, living beings.
Yeah. Like in from an early age, people begin to get into society's representation of them and get into a cycle, like getting a job, earning a higher package, getting married, having children, getting a house, buying cars. As you said, these kind of things makes people eventually lose their own sense of existence, because you're living for the standards set by the people around you, not for yourself. And something like, for you, your father's dying broke this process for you and made you think about what you want to do in life, and think about yourself, think about your plans, and get clarity, which is one of the rare resources right now. People get stuck in this process and lose their sense of self. They exist only for upholding their image in society, which is a very demeaning existence, and ultimately makes a person very like, then what's the use of living? So moving on, can you tell us how faith plays a role in stabilizing mental health and managing one's life's uncertainties?
Okay, as far as faith is concerned, can you be a little bit more elaborate in exactly what you want to know about faith?
Faith in how we can have faith in like how faith in oneself, faith in people around you, how faith in your in yourself plays a role in stabilizing mental health and managing life's uncertainties, like how maintaining faith in yourself can get you through the problems of life and give you a new outlook.
Okay, so there is one aspect of today's world, which is technology, which is about science, which is about development and growth, and things like that. There's another aspect of life, which is faith. Okay, so faith is older than your science. When human beings became societies, they started to form societies. They did not understand this world. So as they started to understand this world, before they started to understand this world, they, they had more faith. They went by, things like if there is why this lightning in the sky, okay, why these trees are, like there are a lot of trees around, why there is water. So they found, some supernatural connections. For example, they said that, these trees are our gods because they help us to live. Water is, savior. Water. So they treated everything with a gratitude. Okay, they did not take it for granted. They looked at it as their, like they knew that they cannot live without these things. So they started to, have a sense of gratitude towards these things because they found themselves to be very vulnerable.
Yeah.
But today human beings don't think that way. We think that we are very powerful. We can do everything. We can, do anything in our lives, which is fine. Scientifically, we can do a lot of things, but still, when it comes to, solving the life's puzzles, you can't actually figure it out. Why it is happening to you? Why you are not feeling happy? Why are you not feeling satisfied in life? Those questions can only be answered when you have faith. Okay. For example, when you think that you have somebody up above you who is looking at you, who is protecting you, who is taking care of you, like your father or your mother, you feel so safe, you feel so secure,
Yeah.
right? But when you don't think like that, you always feel a sense of insecurity. So faith helps us to find ourselves more secure, more assured. So faith is very important,
Yeah.
and you can't start anything. Like a lot of people, the reason why people are not able to succeed in their lives and find true joy is because they don't have faith. They don't have faith in themselves. They don't have faith in things around them. Okay, because we have been trained to question, we have been trained to ask questions, we have been trained to ask questions endlessly, okay, which has no end to it. You can just keep asking why. Everything you can have to go on saying why, and you will never learn anything. But faith helps you to summarize your life. It helps you to give shape to your life. You can think about something, your life as something, and you can start moving towards that. So faith is a very important aspect of
Agreed.
your well-being, I think.
Yeah, faith is important because in those times when we were insecure or when we were feeling tired, sad, we used to pray to God or to pray to anyone that we used to know. In these times, we question ourselves and we begin to doubt ourselves and don't have faith in ourselves, and with this leads to sadness, depression, and a lot of things which are not exactly good for ourselves. And there's a really easy and a common solution to this is to keep faith in ourselves, in the people around us, and maybe in God. So that's really interesting. You often speak about embracing discomfort and using less technology, as you said earlier. How do these habits help someone strengthen their minds and habits?
Yeah. So discomfort. Uh, uh, Continuing from the technology aspect of life. I mean, I feel that the reason these days we are not healthy, we are not fit mentally or physically is after the industrial revolution. Industrial revolution has changed a lot of things for us. It has changed the whole existence of societies forever. We have started to live in a different way. We have started to think in a different way. Everything has been institutionalized, which was not the case before the industrial revolution. So, industrial revolution, the basic idea is that you can mechanize any process of life. Like for example, if you want to you know produce a piece of cloth, that can be mechanized to create unlimited quantity of clothings,
Yes.
and that process can be replicated to any kind of thing in life. Okay, which means that you're trying to make life physically easier and easier. You don't have to do anything. So we have reached a stage where we simply are not doing things by our hands, we are not doing things by our minds. We have got processes for everything. We have got things mechanized, so much that we have lost touch with our own self. So we don't feel the discomfort, and we don't feel that we have to take any pain in our lives. Now, you see, when you have to travel from Delhi to Bombay, you can't keep walking. So that is really painful and which is unbearable. But if you have to walk for 2 kilometers, I think that should not be a pain, right? But even that has become painful for us. So that is the extent of technology which we have, in our lives. Pain is something which you should experience in life. If you really want to feel the life, then pain is an integral part of your life. So when I run marathons, when I run, this is something which I have, discovered. It's a something which I have discovered that the more pain you are taking, you are able to, feel more lively in your life. If you are not feeling the pain, if you are not feeling the discomfort, you're not actually alive. When you are feeling the discomfort, when you're feeling the pain, it means that you're trying to, push the limits. Okay? And if you see anything in this world, anything for that matter, it takes pain to actually, create something out of it. Pain is a gift.
Yes.
I treat pain as a gift. That's what I learned while running. You see, keep running, keep running, keep running. You feel tired, you feel exhausted, you feel burnt out. You feel like panting. You are panting. You are breathless. You are dehydrated. But you keep pushing yourself. At that point of time, you are actually alive. All your senses are alive because they're all trying to protect your body. Okay, so everything is active. The whole body is at its highest alert.
Yeah.
So that is a kind of life you can feel the next level. So discomfort, when we take out the discomforts from our life, we are actually doing a sin. We
Yeah.
must have discomfort. We must have discomforts. So discomfort, pain is a gift. That's what I call pain is a gift. Embrace it. Take it. When I have this thing that pain is a gift, feeling it is a blessing. If you are able to feel that pain in your life in a positive manner, it's a blessing because not everybody is programmed to think that way. We think that we just have to avoid pain, and the whole problem starts from there. Imagine if you have some pain, and if you can feel it, it's a blessing. Okay, and overcoming is accomplishment. So pain is a gift, it is a blessing, and overcoming it is your accomplishment, is your real achievement. So that is how you should use pain, discomfort to make yourself.
Yeah, that was excellently surmised, and I think pain is a vital aspect of how humans live because, like 500 years ago, or maybe 1,000 years ago, human life was not that easy. Our genetic code is built upon centuries of pain and perseverance, which made us who we are. So we cannot ignore our reality and our past, and this is what our gene is meant to be. We are meant to have lives full of pain so that we can accept and persevere through it. And in fact, having and living through pain makes us appreciate the positives in our life and makes us think about the things that makes us grateful about what we have in life, which is a very big blessing that people don't often appreciate. I agree with your points, definitely. Very interesting. So, can you emphasize how self-imposed limitation in these times where people have so much exposure to pleasure and watching movies, shows, or sitting at home and doing activities that are for fun? How can you impose limitations, and what effect, like what's the effect of these habits?
So, limitations. Uh, See, when you are talking about limitations, I would rather say discipline. You know, when you discipline yourself, you're able to channelize your energy, you're able to regulate your emotions, you're able to, you know, make a powerful impact. So, this is very important when you say, that this is exactly how you limit yourself. If you don't limit yourself, you it's like how you drive a car. So when you are driving a car on the road, you have to have the controls. If you lose the controls, then you will crash your car. So I look at all these restraints in that way, the discipline. For example, if you really want to lose weight, what is stopping you from losing weight? You can lose weight. You can become fitter in life. But the thing is that you have the urge to taste, to keep experiencing that kind of tasty food, that urge. If you can impose a limit on it, like, okay, fine, I want to have, but I'll just have one scoop or two scoop and that's it. You get the discipline there. It can help you a lot. And that kind of behavior is helpful in anything else. For example, if you are in any other situation in life, even there, if you just exercise restraint, you can avoid so many things going wrong. Suppose you are in an argument with somebody, and you are trying to explain something to somebody. You just try it once, try it twice. That person is not listening to you. You just keep it to yourself. You just restrain yourself. And that really helps you to avoid a lot of issues in life. You don't have a control over the things. So what you do? You control yourself, right? So restraint is definitely a very powerful force, and that is exactly what has helped me to grow so much in my inner life. Like for example, if you are binge watching, like these days web series are there, or you have a lot of reels to see, or you have social media around, you have so much of freedom to see, do anything. Who's going to question you? But if you have a self-imposed discipline, the restraint, okay, no, I won't do this. You feel a sense of achievement.
Yeah.
Aditya, you might have experienced it yourself that when you are able to control your urges, okay, I'm not saying that completely block them, but if you can control those urges, regulate your energy, you feel so blessed yourself. You feel so much, empowered. You feel so much of in control. So self-imposed limits are basically like you are in total control of your life. That's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Imposing limitations brings the habit of increasing control over your own mind, controlling your habits, controlling your actions, which brings a lot of sanity. A lot of people just go with the flow, like go where life takes them, so which is a good mentality to have, but it's not actually good because you have a limited time on this planet, and spending your time meaningful fully with your right head and mindset is the things that you should focus on. And people often ignore this and just do whatever they see, like when they have an hour free a day, instead of doing something creative, working on themselves, improving, they spend time on shit like shows in Instagram reels and all of this, which is a thing that acts as a buffer to ignore the time. Because so, sir, can you tell me which philosophies or spiritual teachings have influenced your perspective on health, life, and discipline?
So I look at life, you know, as a kind of script. Okay, but that script you have to write yourself. It's like it's an ever evolving script. As long as you're alive, your script is in your hands, and you have the power to write it every day. So that is one of the deep philosophies I believe that nothing happens in your life just like that. Okay, a lot of people say that this is because of some old karmas, or this is something because of so and so, or because it's their fate. Okay, but I think you can take charge of your life and uh, change your narrative at any point of time in life. Okay, so these are the core philosophy with which I conduct my life. The second thing is I believe that this is something which I had seen written somewhere on the walls in one of the army barracks.
Yes, sir.
There was written that those who sweat in peace, those who sweat in peace, they believe less in war. Okay, so you need to keep learning, keep sweating, keep hustling, keep doing things, because if you look at yourself, you are constantly facing challenges in your own life. You are constantly facing challenges around yourself. The world is so dynamic. So if you have that, that zeal to keep learning and keep evolving, okay. So it's like keep training yourself for tomorrow. You'll find life much more rewarding, much more interesting, and very adventurous. Okay, and nobody's life is boring.
Yeah.
I think nobody's life is boring. Your life is not boring, or anybody's life is not boring. The reason why we feel bored is that we don't see our life as something which we can
Our
use
outlook
to
is
narrate.
depressing. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So what you are saying is correct. People like, even if your life is boring or if it is not conventionally boring, your outlook at what your situation is matters the most. And even if you're in a slum or even if you're in a high rise apartment, your mindset is the thing that makes you happy or sad. And I think you nailed it. So please continue.
Yeah. So most of your highs and most of your lows, they will be inside you. They won't be outside of you. So if you look at any big achiever, any person who has reached, the dizzying heights, these people, if you look at the way they have, if you see their life, you can look at them. They have really trained themselves very hard. They have taken all the pains. They have enjoyed the pain. They have taken the pain as a gift, and they have experienced it. While I'm telling you this, it reminds me of Sachin Tendulkar, the master blaster of my days. So, like, you have so many master blasters now these days. So, Sachin is one person who started to, playing cricket at a very early age. And then he just kept going on and on and on. So any person who wants to really grow in their life, they have to keep sweating things so that they enjoy the walk, they enjoy the adventure of life. So this is, I think, this is another philosophy which I feel that really, about. And another philosophy which is very close to my heart is that you need to have simplicity in life.
Yeah.
I think simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. The more simple you are able to live with limited resources, what else you want in your life? Your life is sorted. You're happy with very minimal things in life. You don't have to really, you know, go crazy about anything. What else do you need? So living with simple things and having a simplified version of living, not very complicated, just very simple things. I think that makes life very relaxing. Okay, very, very relaxing. You just you can enjoy every moment of your life. So
Yeah.
these are a few philosophies which I really strongly feel about, and I try to live by them.
Yes, sir. That's really interesting. And living a simple life is also living a stress-free life because you have a lot less on your mind worrying about the present, and you can think about your future. So, can you tell us? Can you share an experience where good company or a particular book shifted your mental framework?
Sure. I have always felt that you need to have good company in life. You can't live alone. Okay. Now, when you say company, it not be that you are in a company of another person, but you need to have the company of something. So, for example, for me to be really fit, I have the company of running. I look at my relationship with this sports of running as somebody, some kind of company. Okay, uh, so to enjoy life, to enjoy anything, you need to find the bonding. So when I say company, it's basically a bonding. Bonding you have to create. So whatever you are doing in life, if you're doing it without having a bond with it, you won't enjoy it. You won't like it. But when you have a bonding, you will feel the love for that thing, and you will be able to enjoy every moment of it. Okay, and that is what allows you to grow. For example, if you are a student and you enjoy a subject, you don't look at subject as just like any other subject. You have curiosity in it. You are looking at everything from a very different perspective. So that bonding that you have, that creates a kind of company for you to be with. So another name for company would be your hobbies. A lot of people just leave their hobbies as they grow. So they are leaving their bonds. They're leaving their wonderful bonds that they had in their childhood. Somebody who wanted was interested in painting, sketching, drawing, playing, singing, dancing, playing guitar or playing tabla. You know,
Yeah.
these are the hobbies. These are the good companies you have. Another form of company which I always admire is having the company of nice people, good people, and that's what I call satsang. When you sit with another person who is uh, willing to listen to you, who allows you to talk, and whom you are interested in listening and talking. If you have that kind of company, which is called satsang, if you do satsang more and more, you will learn a lot of things about others. You will have a very developed version of observation. How you can observe and absorb both. So I think that's how I look at company. It's a bond. It's a shared relationship. It's something that you love, and you just the lifetime increases when you are in that kind of that circle.
Yeah, uh, that's interesting. So now we are going to have a rapid fire round, and you have to answer the question in like one or two words. So let's. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So give me one book that you would always recommend.
I'm a kind of reader. I read a lot of books, but if I have to recommend something, uh, I would recommend something on fitness and health. So I have lately read this book uh, called Made in India. This book is by another runner, marathon runner, a supermodel, an actor, Mr. Milind Sowan.
Yeah.
So he depicts the life as a runner and his own life, how he's strived to be fit, how he left smoking. So anybody who is interested in getting fitter or just to enjoy life, look at it in a different perspective, I think they should read this book, Made in India.
Yes. That's a great recommendation, sir. We have to get a bit faster. So one
Sure.
gadget that you could live without. Yeah, no problem. One gadget that you could not live without.
These days, there's only one gadget which we all can't live without, and you know that.
Smartphone.
Our smartphone.
Yeah. And nature walk or gym workout.
No brainer, it is a nature walk.
Yeah. One quote that you will always live by.
I think it is so simple to be happy, but it is so difficult to be simple.
That's really thoughtful. If not running, you'd be doing what?
I'll be reading or writing something because what running is to the body, reading and writing for me is to the mind.
Yeah. So one value that we must teach to all kids today.
Sorry,
One value that we must teach to children today.
one value that we want to teach to the children, right? I think that one thing which I want children to learn at a very early age in their lives is try to stay still, like sit quietly at one place for some time and just breathe in and breathe out so that they can feel relaxed.
Yeah. So your favorite food after a long run.
My favorite food, I can eat anything and everything after a long run, but I would prefer to eat uh, maybe rice with dal,
Okay. So a place that instantly brings you peace.
my village.
Okay. So self discipline in one word.
Just do it.
One thing you do every morning without fail.
It's like I get up in the morning, I get myself a glass of water, lukewarm water, I'll drink it, and after that I begin my day.
Yeah. So that closes the rapid fire round. It was really interesting. So thank you for that. Now let's move on to some wisdom from you. This is the closing three questions. So can you tell us how, like, what does a mentally strong person look to you personally?
For mentally strong person, I have actually jotted down the three things. Okay, after a lot of reflection. First thing is that a mentally strong person will always choose love over fear.
Yeah.
If you really if you want to be strong, make your decisions out of love, not because of fear. If you can do that, you're a very strong person. That's first thing. The second is make joy your GPS. Okay, I'm just quoting Robin Sharma here, uh, one of the great authors whom I read. Robin Sharma says that, make joy your GPS. It means that whatever you do in your life, make sure that you enjoy it. A mentally strong person always go behind doing things which he or she enjoys, no matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it is, and no matter if it is impossible. But that person will go behind it. And that is the great mark of a very strong, mentally strong person.
Yeah.
And one more thing I feel like the third point is that a very mentally strong person would, he would live to express himself and not to impress anybody. You don't have to be bothered by, what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If you are doing what you love, I think you are very strong. This is very difficult to get, it takes years together to really understand why it is tough. So if you are a very strong person, you will do this. You won't
Yeah.
care about other things.
That's an interesting outlook, and I believe in this too. What kind of legacy do you hope to leave through your journey, teachings and lifestyle?
So see, I didn't know exactly what legacy I wanted to leave behind or something. But ever since I started my fitness journey, uh, I think I started building some kind of legacy for my children, for my people around me. And that's what I would say that you can live a beautiful life if you are healthy enough. So don't look at your health and health routine as a kind of uh, like problem or something. It is. I want people to understand that you are born to feel the pain. Treat pain as a gift. I want to tell people. So what I feel is that uh, just want to keep doing the same thing over and over again and keep myself fitter and become fitter mentally and physically. And I want people to understand this because we are really heading in a very wrong direction. I mean, we are suffering from so many lifestyle diseases. We are not caring about these things, like small things. And technology has totally taken over us. So I want people to remember that they're human beings. They are part of this great animal kingdom. They are not machines.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and you're obviously also leaving your legacy through this interview. A lot of people will watch you and be inspired. And it was a great discussion, sir. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for sparing your time amidst your busy schedule of studies and being in the board
It's not
examination.
that busy.
Uh,
I am very open for.
so,
It was a fun discussion, and it was my honor to have you here.
thank you so much for having me on your show once again. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my viewers, for watching. Give your thoughts in the comments below, and see you next week. Ciao for now. Bye bye.